Good evening, everybody. It is Eastern United States, and it is very late into the evening, around 5 o'clock. Just finished my dinner, and the wife and kids are um, out in Vermont visiting my sister-in-law for the holidays. So, what's the next best thing to do besides making some sawdust? A buddy of mine just called me up and say, "Hey, can you make me one of these toys?" I said, "Sure thing, my friend." So I find in my shop. I find two hook, two ring, something to tie the rope to. Here's a rope. All I need to do is find some dowel and a peg and one, two, three piece of scrap wood. And I think that's pretty much half the project here. I went on SketchUp and actually draw up a preliminary what I think I want to do, but I'm gonna wing this one. I think this project is so simple that I can just go as I work. So let's start. The rest of the project is going to be narrated and with some music. Have fun. I started the project by cutting the material on the table saw. The top material I'm planning on using 1 inch thick, and for the bottom or the base I'm planning on using 2x4. All these are just scraps. The width of these things are roughly 3 inches wide. Before I can use the 2x4, I had to get it flat and square up on two faces on the jointer. Now I'm going to cut the base to the same width as the top. And lastly, clean up the last surface and make it parallel. Next step is marking the location of the center post and drilling it out on the drill press. Drilling a hole exactly through the center of the dowel was not easy. Luckily, I have a jig that I use for my lathe which find the exact center. It allowed me to draw a line directly through the center of the dowel. With the center line and a homemade V-block, I am able to make a hole directly through the center of the dowel. I use this hole as the guide for the two hooks. I use my router to put a nice profile on the block so it looks nicer. This game has a scoreboard. It consists of a peg moving back and forth as each player wins and loses. The peg fits into these little holes. Here I am making all the marks where I am going to use a Forstner bit to draw out the holes. Last thing to do is sanding and final assembly. Was a lot of fun to build. It took me a little bit longer than I expected, just due to setup issues. My drill press, the Forstner bit was not running as true as I like. The 7/8 drill bit was a little bit wobbly more than I like it, so therefore it took the setup 10-15 minutes longer than usual, but that was not too bad. The router was a little bit longer to set up as well, just because I don't use it as much. But all in all, it took me approximately an hour and 45 minutes to build this whole entire thing. It was a really fun and quick project. If I had everything set up and without any kind of hitch, I probably could have done this in less than 45 minutes. Was this a fun project? Yes, it was. Would I do it again? I probably would. And if I were to change anything on this, I definitely would like to build a bigger version of this. Because after I built this, I went online and checked on YouTube. The contraption of this game on YouTube was a little bit bigger. Probably another foot or so, another foot this way. And the arc on this one was much bigger. Therefore, the swing was much easier. For me right now, it just doesn't have that much of a swing, and it's just a little bit harder for me to play. So far, the entire time, I have gotten only hooked onto this once. Is it because I'm just not very familiar with this game? Maybe. So, either way, it's a fun game, and it's a very easy build, and hopefully everybody enjoyed watching this video. Have a great night.